Yeah, hello, welcome to our Monday night. It's night here, right? Show. Yeah, I hope everything's working all right. We still have to fight some small teething problems, and I should actually switch to the correct scene here. So, welcome to the broadcast. Let's get going with some chess here. Any questions already in the chat? I'll have a look. How many times have I been asked what is a good aggressive opening to learn with little theory? Yes, indeed, quite often. And there is not much that is kind of aggressive and has little theory. Let's see. I want to play some games here. I'm going to shoot for a 5-minute game. Yep. Yeah, I flicked the scene a little bit late.
Game started.
Kilian at the first game. You don't want to make it easy for me here. One of my tougher opponents here. This is a cool statistic. 32 games and we've got 15 wins, 15 losses and 2 draws, which is kind of cool. Okay. I have a question. What after c4, knight f6, knight c3, e6, e4, the Mykonos attack of the English opening? What is the best for black to equalize? Yeah, I guess d5 is the approved move there. It should. I mean, this is not an easy equality, but black has very decent chances to get equal play. So what to do here after c4? Okay, I'll do something funny. I just take there and play a solid setup. There's a question by Gajinsko. He wants to learn the Queen's Gambit Decline Tartakova. Any good book on that? Well, there's a book from 2011, I think, by John Cox, Declining the Queen's Gambit, which is the most recent book on this. It's quite funny that the Queen's Gambit declined while being a super classical and actually rather popular opening, especially on the club level, has so little coverage in books. I was actually thinking about this, if I should maybe make a book project about the Queen's Gambit decline with black. There is this book by Cox, which is not bad at all, but I think that it's still an interesting subject to cover. Okay, I'm going to jump to c4 here. That's maybe not... Okay, he's going to trade. But I don't mind that. I've got less space, so trading is fine. There's a question. How do I begin with getting my skill approved? Don't quite get the question. Do you mean improved? How to improve your skills? If you mean that, well, this is the most general kind of chess training improvement question that there is, and it's not an easy to answer question. If you want an idea what is the most important skill that you should learn and improve, this is definitely calculational abilities and tactics, because most games are decided on that, and this applies to a very wide range of players' strength up to the titled players. Okay, so he saw that I'm attacking the pawn on d4 and decided to give his bishop. There's a question. I should tell something about my team competition from yesterday. Oh, I don't mind that. It's fun. It's a funny question because yesterday my team played in the German second league against the team of Köln Ports, the best team of that division, and we actually managed to lose all 8 games, so we didn't even get a single draw. Which also means that, of course, I lost my game. It was a pretty pretty clean victory here for my opponent. Luke van Vele was my opponent. Very nice to get such a strong player. But I couldn't really put up a fight. It was just not good. I didn't have a good position out of the opening. It was slightly worse. And then he very convincingly, I thought, outplayed me. At least that was my impression during the game. I did not yet manage to analyze it in any depth, but I would be surprised if I had some real chances somewhere. It really looked like a clean win. Yeah, here there's not much going on. I can offer a draw here. I'm not sure if he wants to. I mean, maybe he wants to try. He's a fighter. I can play King F2 and say, basically claim that he's got a little bit more space. Yeah, he would probably play on. I would probably also play on here, to be honest. The best way to defeat the elephant gambit? No idea, to be honest. I never looked at this opening. Shouldn't be particularly great. I would be rather surprised if it is any good. Yeah, I was surprised to see that. There's a question about Richard Rapport beating Levon Aronian in the Bundesliga. Yes, I also was surprised. It was a very strategically focused game, and Rapport managed to win quite convincingly against Aronian. Yeah, I mean, Rapport is definitely a very talented player, but he sometimes overdoes it with the crazy openings. I think if he starts to be a little bit more conservative, that can actually help him. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is a good move, but I have to play one sooner or later. I think the king and pawn ending is okay. I play king g6 and h5. I hope I don't miscalculate, which is very easy. Very easily done in the king and pawn ending. I thought I'd take king g6, king e3, h5, and I should be okay. I might be wrong. No, I definitely won't play the elephant gambit on the stream. It's tough enough in the 5-minute pool anyway, and playing such openings is not a good idea for me. I'm also not particularly good in those kind of crazy positions. Queen g8, I have queen to g7. Okay, it's not going for anything like that. Can I do this? I take the d4 pawn. I hope I'm not running into some kind of wacky self-made here. I'm always able to do that. I've got talent, quite a talent for screwing things up royally. But at least I'm not down on the clock. This is helpful. Nah, it looks drawish. Yes, I have played Crazy House, yeah, of course. It's funny.
Check.
I didn't see a reason why not to activate here a little bit. Is G4 crazy here, or it's Queen E5, huh? That's not a great idea. Queen F4 though. Oh, maybe. Don't know if Queen F4 is a move.
Time warning.
can also just go back, of course. Let's just go back. Maybe I should have played for win harder here. I mean, he can trade now. No, it doesn't trade.
Check.
He can probably draw just by checking, huh?
Check.
And he will do so.
Check.
Yeah, I cannot play for a win here, unfortunately.
Check. Check.
Can go to f6, but that doesn't really do much.
Check.
King to e6. It's still a draw.
Game or draw.
It's a draw. We don't draw often, but sometimes it happens. Okay, let's play another game. The hillbilly attack. I think this is against the Caro-Kann, right? I don't think it's particularly great, but it's not like I'm an expert. My information or idea why this is not good is just it was asked. I think Jan Gustafsson was once asked about this in one of his videos, and he just said it's nonsense, and I tend to believe Gusti. The King's Indian with black. Oh, I've played that quite a lot actually on my channel. I can play it, of course, in one of the next games. The Evans Gambit. I can play some e4 with white. There's a question about new content on my own channel besides Blitz videos. Yes, there will be some other content for sure, and I can also tell you when. I'm going to move to my new apartment this week, and when I'm settled in, which means like in a couple of days, hopefully, I hope there's no big issue with the internet and so on. This can be an issue. That they screw up my internet connection or things like that. If this is not the case and I can just work in the new place, then I will come up with some new content pretty quickly. And yeah, I just hope that everything works fine there. Yeah, for example, I today found out that that in one of the rooms the heating is not working, which is kind of important. You don't want to freeze, so it's something that I also have to look after. But I definitely want to do more content for the channel. It really was on hold for a long while because I'm constantly doing stuff outside of chess. So, okay, I think I'll try to trade this. C5. Yeah, I know that idea. That was presented by Michael Marin also in his books, that this bishop here now is not good. But, well, I have c6 and knight d5 possibly. Don't think it can be that bad. The Queen's Indian defense, why is it rarely encountered at top level despite its solid reputation? It's an interesting question. I've asked myself this question. I think the main reason is that the Queen's Indian is an opening where white has a couple of options to play against it. It's got a3, g3 and sub-variations in those. And black has to be ready for quite a wide variety of options. And in some positions, I think the situation is not that, how do you call it? It's not that engine friendly, I think. There are many ideas and not so much in terms of concrete lines. So I think that nowadays people they go for the top players, they go to mostly to lines that they can analyze in depth with the engine. And I think the Queen's Indian is not perfect for that. I think they rather go for some Queen's Gambits, for example, where they can analyze in much more depth. I'm a bit surprised that he just gives me the pawn there. I think my position was good anyway, but still surprised. Bishop g7, there's d4, so that's not working. And now, so queen to c7 threatens mate. Mate is a good thing to threaten, so let's try that. That's actually a good move. Didn't really have that on the radar that much, but okay. This question, do I think that you can play at a decent class level without memorizing many lines? Yes, definitely. Yeah. If you are clever with your opening choices, you don't need to study that many concrete lines. I'm very positive about that. With white, you have many openings that are more like setups than lines. Openings like the Reti, the King's Indian attack, some queen pawn openings. This is all playable without memorizing a huge body of theory. And with black, it's a little bit more difficult, I think, if you want to have a decent position. Yeah, here I'm a pawn up. That's good, but am I winning is the question. That's the question. I'm surprised that he did that. I am a pawn up, right? That another miscounting. Yes. So queen takes e5 is a bit of a strange. Well, takes king e7 now. Okay, but f6 now, right? Isn't that? Nah, that's not necessarily a win. Okay, let's bring the king. Yeah, mate is a good thing to threaten. This is the kind of wisdom you all expected from a show like that. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to provide it. What I'm wondering here is if I'm actually winning this king and pawn ending. That's not so clear, actually. Takes. King e3. Oh, that's an interesting move. Threatens some things. I go back here. The Caro-Kann requires some memory. If you want a position type like the Caro with less memorization, it's not such a bad idea to play the Scandinavian, for example. It also has some memorization, but it is difficult without, completely without, but you can play in a way that it doesn't require that much. So yeah, it's not easy to win. Yeah, it really isn't. Yeah, I would definitely like to play a match with John, but this is all after I've changed places. And yeah, he stumbled into the queen trade here. Yeah, next one. I would also like to play a match with Jan Gustafsson. I think Jan would be up for it. Of course, he's the heavy favorite, but still. It's something that I will try after I've gotten that move out of the way.
Game started.
Currently, the only place in my home that looks kind of normal is my office, where I'm sitting at the moment. The rest is all in boxes and pure chaos. Okay, I've got some funky stonewall type of position here. Let's take them. Not sure about this. Stonewall with knight c6. Yeah, that the knight is somewhat wrong on c6. Yeah, David, I agree in some way. I think I saw the match between John Bartholomew, Finz, and Jan, and I think, well, I'm not John's coach, but I would say that he played a little bit with too much. Yeah, psyched out is probably not a bad way to put it, but you said it. I'm not, maybe this is not my native language here, English. I don't want to put it in a negative way. It just felt that he was a little bit too maybe a little bit starstruck or something like that. I don't know. I definitely wouldn't have played the openings that he tried. I think it didn't work out well for him at all. Especially the wide openings looked weird. Yeah, I should play 1e4 with white. You're right. The thing is, you always say, hey, let's play the Evans Gambit and stuff like that. I really don't mind doing it. My issue is I simply forget about it. When I'm white, I'm just automatically play my normal moves. Okay, I'm going to take here. Yeah, I saw that match, but I didn't see John's version. I watched Jan Gustafsson's version. Didn't have time for both, and if John thinks that he should have played different openings, I think he's right in that. Especially with white, that knight f3, g3 stuff. I mean, I know what I'm talking about because I play those openings with white, and if the other guy has a good repertoire against it, you get absolutely zilch, and this was the case. I mean, Gustafsson is a very good theoretician, and he got the better position in most games pretty quickly when he had black, and this is that's not good. And I totally misplayed this game, by the way. The Rogozin is good. Yeah, it's a good opening, sure. Queen h5 was really a weird move. My light squares are absolutely bad. Maybe I can get in g4. That would be fantastic. But rook f5 is a bit unexpected. And now I get in g4. That's great, actually. Queen d7 I thought was much stronger. This is not so bad now. No, knight f3, g3 is not a bad opening. It's just that there are some lines against it that are very decent, and when Jan played those lines, I think you should switch. You should switch and do something else. You cannot play that like 4 or 5 times and are worse with white all the time. Okay, let's cover that. The Sicilian Kalashnikov is playable. Yes, sure. It's not a bad opening. What do we have here? Many questions here. What would I play against Jan Gustafsson with white in that blitz encounter? Probably d4 main lines.
Check.
which is not easy. I mean, Gustafsson is a very good player and also a very good theoretician, so it's difficult anyway. But yeah, I think d4 main lines are better shot, and John knows that also quite well. So anyway, it's also a little bit like hindsight is always 20/20. So I have never read any Nietzsche. I'm not good at philosophy at all. I never really. Wow, what move is that? That's kind of surprising that he opens up everything here. I'm not good on philosophy at all. I've never read anything basically. I'm pretty decent with some other areas like history, but philosophy is something that I'm not good at or well informed at. Informed of.
Check.
Yeah, he's got some issues there. What to do now? His bishop here cannot move. Is there something even better than just a4? It's good. It's good. Just play a4. He wants to play c5 and possibly d4, right? Maybe. Yeah, I think I have the c pawn as well, huh? Or I can I cannot take there. And let's go with the c pawn. And now there isn't a win here. I cannot believe it.
Time warning.
Why did I do that? This is a bad technical play. Yeah, that wasn't bad. That wasn't good at all. That game should have been much clearer. I shouldn't have gotten all that play. Why didn't I go with the a pawn? That was my original intention, actually. Okay. I think it still wins, but it wasn't good at all. So what now? Knight here. Or is there a quicker win? I don't see a quicker win.
Black resigns.
Yeah, okay. It was a bit of a weird technical play here, but I hope I didn't screw it up completely.
Started.
Okay, playing G Bianchi. Okay, I'll go e4 now. Against such a high-rated player, it's a bit of a dicey move for me, at least. So I play the Smith Mora. I got requests for that. Last week I played a fantastic queen sacrifice with the Smith Mora. My opponent took it and I resigned. Yeah, let's see. This is what I know. Yeah, I played e4. I managed to get that in. Yes, this line. I have no idea. I think I have to do this, right? Maybe just play strategically. There's a question by David Franklin. Who's got the least chances in the candidates, Vidler or Topalov? Well, some suggestions. Interesting question. No, hard to tell. Really hard to tell. I also don't give Topalov much chances, to be honest. Svitler also is, of course, is an underdog, but I think it's a pretty open race. I mean, you've got some people are more of favorites or something than others, but it's not a super clear thing. Okay, is it crazy to try some g4 business here? Probably it is, huh? I haven't checked out the Chessable website. I know that's a new website that has to do with chess openings, but I have not checked it out, so I cannot give you any positive or negative kind of information there. G4 is a very dicey move. Yes, yeah, I can take and play rook c1. This is the thing. Oh, this one. Okay, that's also interesting. It's hard to tell who's the possibly toughest challenger to Carlsen. I think Carlsen will beat all of those guys in a match if he is completely focused and in good shape. As I said, why did I go b3 actually? He's got rook c3 now. And why took that ages from him? Oh, I'm an idiot. b3, what a bad move. What a bad move. Ah, oh, wow, that sucks. That really sucks. I simply didn't look at all. Giving him the c3 square was absolutely terrible. I just have to go bishop b3 or so. These are the really annoying things. Give the opponent this kind of thing here. It's really bad. I don't think there wasn't much going on. I had some compensation for the pawn. I mean, not great or anything, but good enough. Interesting. Why did he trade? Hey, he's getting d3 in, right? This is the thing. Don't really get much what he does here, which is probably My issue. Ah, now he's got queen pin or what? I know I can go queen f3 actually. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the match that I would like to see most is actually, of course, Nakamura, because this is the most interesting clash of personalities, maybe. So I would look forward to that very much. Even though, if we look at the scores, Carlsen is certainly the heavy favorite in that match, but it's not something that I don't think that Nakamura is necessarily losing that match without any chances. It's doesn't need to happen. He just has to break that spell once and win a game. Then things will be different.
Draw offered.
Oh, that's nice.
Game drawn.
I think he traded too much. I mean, he's still better here, but difficult to win, of course. Okay, I'll take the draw, whatever. B3 was an absolutely terrible move here. I don't want to make much of analysis, but B3 is just terrible. Wow. I mean, if I play something like this here and just play normal stuff like this, this is a pretty good bishop. I mean, he's got a pawn, this pawn on d4, but my bishop is very active, and if I can get in stuff like that, I have some counterplay here. I think this is about equal, and the engine agrees. Okay, one more game.
Game started.
Okay, playing the Fighting Dragon. Who is that actually? International Master Christian Köpke from Germany. Okay, I don't know him really. I mean, not in person. What books I would... there's a question about endgame books for 1700 player pushing forward with chess. There's a standard recommendation. You can go for the De La Villa book, the 100 endgames you must know, which is pretty good for basic basic endings, the simple ones, very little material, this kind of thing, and for more complex endings, I think the Dvoretsky's Endgame Manual should be the one. Yeah, and yeah, David Franklin is also suggesting a good book. Jonathan Hawkins, Amateur to IM. That's also an interesting book with heavy emphasis on the end game. Knight BD2. Isn't there some knight G4 here? Isn't that an idea, or is that crazy? Is this bishop D5 coming? Maybe. Let's try. Really don't know. Yes, yeah, I thought Queen D7. It might be wrong entirely. Might be. Normally they play H3 after Bishop H5, but I never studied Bishop H5. Dvoretsky's Endgame Manual is a really big book, and it will have many things that you probably, if you are a 1700 player, that you don't need because it's so complex. But it's very comprehensive. It has everything in it, so it's kind of the thing that it's the book, yeah. So it just makes some sense to get it. Yeah, I think white can maybe just take c6, take e5. That wouldn't be a terrible choice. I'm sorry, I have to drink something. He's playing in a more in a more sophisticated way. Okay, let's get out of this. Good move. He's unpinning and activating the queen. So I'll have to take now. Do I take on d4 now? Maybe. Yeah, knight d8. I'm blundering or moving the knight, blundering e5, but that's under fire anyway. I can actually play knight d8, de5, c6 and trap his bishop. That's a funny move. Let's try that. It was so weird. Yeah, I know the book, Fundamental Chess Openings by Paul van der Sterren. That's not a bad book. It's an overview of all openings, basically. It has everything, yeah. Obviously in a short form, but if you just want a complete overview of everything, it's not a bad book at all. This is, however, something that you nowadays can probably also... Oh, he was clever. He was clever here. My rook is not protected. Okay, I can take now, though. And the d2 knight is hanging. I never planned any of that, but maybe it works out. Funny. Stuff like this a book by van der Sterren with an overview of all openings. This is something that nowadays can be done with Wikipedia in some way. It's funny, I have a decent position now, and this is so lucky. I never saw any of that. It was just pure coincidence. This I'm taking.
White resigns.
Yeah, he was probably irritated by the whole thing here. That was really strange. I was really thinking I'm trapping his bishop here, and he found that, which I didn't see at all. But I can play this miraculously, and knight takes e5. I can take d2. That was just luck. I never saw any of that. Knight d8 is actually a good move, but I couldn't. I just got lucky here. And here my position is fine. Yeah, I've got the two bishops. I've got knight e6 coming up, and he just was very generous with that piece. What a weird game. Yeah, okie dokie. Next one. And I'll go e4 again with white. I think. Yeah, some good players on in the 5-minute pool. Got Conrad Holt, for example, on. But he's playing at the moment, probably not going to get paired. Come on, give me a game. Someone in the chat suggests schnapps. Yeah, some liquor. No, I cannot drink any schnapps. Impossible. Everything I've got is already in boxes. No joke. I don't have much anyway. Don't drink much alcohol, but I've got the little things that I have are stored already. Yeah, I want to do more. I want to do a bit more variety on the channel, some other time controls, but also some instructional videos. So it will just be a better variety. But I have to see what happens, what I ultimately go for. I mean, how it is balanced is what I'm trying to say between instructional content and other games, other time controls. Okay, I've got some French defense here, and I think this is probably quite decent for black. I've played some comparable lines myself when I was still playing the French, and usually if you get this good queenside knights, you're usually okay. So I think he is probably all right here. I need to get something going here. The time control with the strongest players at ICC is probably a 5 minute. 3 minute is also pretty strong though. Not sure that is a very clear result if you do a statistic on that. I think 5 minute is maybe a little bit stronger. Yeah, this looks very okay for black. But sometimes the knights, I mean, the thing is, when I play that with black, I'm usually getting checkmated. And if I'm white, I'm getting outplayed on the queen side. I simply have problems with this position. Position type. Anyway, my next move is f5, unless he is doing something pretty drastic. This is something drastic. I can still go f5, but I think I'll capture. Yeah, now f5. This is kind of f5, h4. H4. I can go back to e2 and allow him to take on f5. Yeah, that's not so convincing. Let's think about this for a moment here. Yeah, maybe this kind of thing. Yeah, 3 minute is also strong on the ICC, definitely. Yeah, okay, he does his things and I do mine. But how do I get something going? Rook g7? Maybe. Just go on the 7th. It's a bit on its own, but attacking f7 is annoying, I guess. Okay, if I go queen g1, I'm threatening bishop g6 here. Yeah, bishop g6 is a threat, and probably rook g8 as well. Okay, can I sacrifice queen g6 back? It's close. It's definitely close. Bishop h7 is a move though, threatening rook g8 again. Yep, that looks dangerous. Wow, there are questions that I cannot answer. Of course there are, but there's one particular question. What do I think about that Yelp girl writing the letter to the CEO? I don't know the story. Sorry, cannot comment on it. I don't know that story at all. Okay, so yeah, but here bishop g6 is good, right? I've looked at Civilization 5, but didn't like it much. Even with the additional packs or what they have now, I don't like it somehow. Yeah, I know Rook F8 is the only... No, it's not the only move. I thought it is.
Check. Check. Check.
Okay, so I'm winning the rook here. And I hope that I'm not getting killed with some kind of wacky counter attack. Or my queen gets trapped or something crazy. So let's see, my queen doesn't have many squares. Bishop c6, is that really happening? Wow. Wow. Is my queen getting trapped? Yeah, you maybe rook f7 was winning, but this is not winning. I cannot believe. What am I up here? I'm a rook up, right? A full rook, and he's got bishop c6 coming up. Okay, I'll sack the queen. What else? Oh, come on, I'll sack the queen. It should be a pretty good position, actually. After queen takes d8.
Check. Check.
That shouldn't be bad. The pawns are pretty strong. His only move is b4. I think that, that's the only move to put up some kind of resistance. The thing is, what to do? I think I actually do this. It looks strange, but it keeps the position together. Bishop can come to b4. It keeps things kind of harmonious, I hope. That was the point. So this is covered, and now I need the rook here for rook g8. Yeah, so I got my queen trap, but it didn't turn out to be that bad. Yeah, getting fired for writing a letter to the CEO complaining about payment. Well, it depends. Was it justified? I don't know. You should be able to kind of express your opinion, but within reason, I guess. Okay, I'm going to go here. And this one, yeah, it's kind of weird here, this position. I hope I'm not overlooking some kind of tactic. Can easily happen. Queen g7. There is no mate threat at the moment, but it still looks weird.
Check.
He's checking me there. And my knight. Oops. It's got this check.
Check. Check. Check. Check. Check.
Oops.
Check.
What happening here?
Check. 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 White forfeits on time.
I didn't. What the heck? Yeah, I lost control of that position. It was, of course, a complete win here after the queen sacrifice. But I lost complete control there. He somehow sneaked in there. Probably I have to play some other move like e7 or so. Yeah, here I should win. I'm 40 seconds up and everything. Some e7. Whew. Okay, so new game. Yeah, there were a couple of wins, I guess, available. The way I played here, that was also should also win. Bishop g6. Yeah, this is getting. If I just do this, he's cut off. I just have to cut him off. Then the e pawn will win the game. This is +7 or so. But yeah, happens. Here it starts to get tricky, and
Game
here I'm losing.
Started.
Okay, playing Just Kid. Okay, this is one of those guys where I have a terrible score, 1 out of 5, and yeah, let's see what happens. Guillermo Bianchi says, good game by Black. Well, no, not really. It wasn't a good game by Black, but it's what happens sometimes. You have a totally winning position and you screw it up. It wasn't good by Black. Okay, did I just make a mistake here? That's possible, right?
Check.
Stumbling into this trick here again. I've lost with this. I've lost with this earlier. Oh my goodness. I have to go to e7. Yeah, so this is how I lose to this guy. Stumble into stupid opening traps. How do I get my king there? Somehow out of this mess. If I go back, maybe g6. And he wants to play c7 and then check me, but I really cannot do much about that. Have to play for compensation here. You can go c7, queen c7, knight c6 check. It's probably not the end of the world. No, just plays normal and good moves. This is just better. It's just better. Okay. If I go back and still c7, especially difficult to get something coordinated here. This one, I don't know, it's just a bad position. Yeah, I have to go back. Maybe I should have played e5, huh, earlier. At least I'm not down on time. The position sucks, but at least I'm not losing on time. Okay, let's kick him back. I'm just taking this bloody pawn. And some kind of, I mean, compensation is wrong. It's just equal material. But I think I definitely had a worse position than that earlier. It's still looking bad, but it was probably even worse. Am I getting my queen trapped again? That shouldn't happen, really. Please, not again. But I can, okay, knight to d4 maybe. Okay, not what I wanted. Phew, that's tough. So let's see, can I activate this a little bit? That bishop there. I can still play knight c4, which I didn't do. Yeah, it's still bad. It's really still bad.
Check.
Yeah, if I take on d2, well, that looks, it sucks. It really sucks. But I don't see something great. He still has that strong c-pawn. See, how is he covering it now? Rook c1, go rook c8. Yeah, he might have a tactic here, but I can take c6 now, right? No, then rook c1, okay. Takes, rook takes. I'll just surround the pawn. Yeah, it can still not take it, I guess.
check, 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 time warning.
Yeah, flag him. That's a good idea, but the position is just totally lost. This is the thing. He's got queen b7. It's just not possible. I can take and play here for queen e1 maybe.
Check. Check.
So maybe I can draw with queen g3 here.
Check. Check. Check.
So I saved
Check.
the draw from that
Check. Draw.
from that totally rotten position. Yeah, I've made this opening mistake earlier. I've made the same mistake again. Really, I'm just an idiot, right? I have to take first, of course, and then play b6, right? It still goes. No, that doesn't work. How do I do that? Knight c6 then? Huh. This is right, maybe. Anyway, so I saved the draw in that game. At the end, I had some bad results. Lost again. This is that earlier game. That French game. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed our show here. I think it was some enjoyable games. I have to say one thing. I'm absolutely hoping to be online next week on Monday. There is a slight chance that I'm not online if something is getting screwed up with my internet connection in my new place. If I'm having a decent connection, I'll definitely be online, but not sure if it works. I hope you'll join me if I'm on. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.